Yo, what's going on today, guys? It's Rick with RR Sports, and we are bringing you guys the top 5 most disappointing players so far in the 2023 MLB season. So, I don't want this to be like a negative video because obviously you want everyone to do the best. Like, I want to see the best baseball possible, but these are 5 guys that are surprising, first of all, and then second of all, like, have just been really bad to their standards, or we were expecting like a big year out of them after what they did last year to really just not doing anything this year so far. Obviously, baseball is streaky. Anyone can turn around a season at some point, but these are going to be the top 5 guys that we think, between me and Ryan, are just struggling so far to get out the gates. Let's go. So coming in at number 5 today, guys, has got to be Nolan Arenado. The reason he's coming in at number 5 for us is because baseball streaky. Like I was just saying, like, he could easily, out of anyone on this list, turn it on more than anyone here. So we've seen it in the past. He's been streaky at times in his career, but he always ends up near 300, 100 RBIs, 30 home runs, like pretty much every year. So as of right now, he has a 608 OPS. Yeah, 608. That is horrible. For those that don't like advanced metrics, we have 3 home runs, 18 RBIs. He's still driving in runs because he has Goldie with 1,000 OPS still hitting in front of him, but he's just really struggling at the plate. He's not walking a ton. He's striking out at a pretty high rate. It just has not been a good start for him. And for someone that got 3rd place in the MVP last year, I think entering his 32-year-old season this year, I think everyone kind of expected another potential MVP run. And I do think the struggles of the Cardinals do weigh on some players. Like, some players really do play better when their teams are playing better. And the way that the Cardinals have started off the year, I think that is partially due to Nolan not playing well, but also when everyone else around you is not playing well either, other than Goldie, it does kind of weigh on you. So I'm interested to see on what ends up happening with him throughout the year. I do think there's been some injuries that have been bugging him. He did get hit with the ball in the hand during the World Baseball Classic, and then it looked like he's had some back pain at times. He was scratched today with a neck injury. I mean, he could have just slept on his neck wrong, but at the end of the day, he just hasn't looked like him. I do think he will bring it back. Out of anyone on this list, I have my most confidence that he's going to bring it back. So let's go on to number 4. So coming in at number 4 is actually going to be another USA Baseball WBC player, and that is Brady Singer. So pitcher here. We're flipping the topic, and Brady Singer, he's got an 8.82 ERA. Last year, he had his, like, I would say, breakout year. He pitched 153 innings and had a 3.23 ERA last year. So that's ace stuff in 90% of rotations. That's really good. This year, 8.82, he is just getting absolutely destroyed, and I think it's because a lot of teams are figuring him out. How many pitchers in the MLB can be successful throwing 2 pitches? There's not many, and especially for starters, in this day and age, it is very difficult to be a fastball-only pitcher. So he throws his sinker 54% of the time, and he throws his slider 36% of the time. So between those 2 pitches, that is 90% or more. So he throws the next pitch he throws the most is his changeup at 7%. So as a hitter, your approach in someone that you're going to see for 5 innings, probably at least 2, maybe 3 at-bats mattering on the day. Most of them has been 3 at-bats because he's getting shelled this year. But if you're going up there and you're only looking fastball slider, I mean, it's really not that difficult. The margin for error is so slim that if he does not spot up, he's just going to get hit hard. And with how good MLB players are nowadays, you see it all the time. I mean, you can make a great pitch and it gets absolutely lit up. So he's going to have to figure out a 3rd pitch. I mean, ideally a 4th pitch should be thrown in there as well. In this day and age, like, he's still so young, 26. He should be still developing pitches. I'm sure he is. But you at least need to have 3 pitches, like 3 really good pitches if you want to be a top of the rotation guy, and ideally a 4th one that you can just like throw out there every once in a while. It's not very often. Like, you can even see like in the Jacob deGroms of the world right now, like, he's been getting hit up more the past couple years because everyone throws so hard now. So like, it's not like his fastball isn't jumping off the pages like it used to. It's like fastball slider, and he's really started working in a changeup more. So like, he figured it out. He was like, I'm kind of getting hit more. Like, you got to make an adjustment. So I like to see Brady make that adjustment. Still only 26 years old. Still plenty of time to figure it out, but not ideal. Very bad start to the year. That's why he's coming in at number 4. Let's go to number 3. And coming in at number 3 for us today, guys, has to be, Ryan called it, Gunnar Henderson. So Gunnar Henderson coming in as the number 1 prospect in baseball. Obviously, tons of pressure. But is it a ton of pressure? Because, like, you had Adley in front of you, and Adley came out and just played phenomenal since he's been there. I mean, everyone starts off a little slow in their career. Typically, no one really just gets right going. And there's a lot of growing pains in baseball, and left-handed pitchers are so tough to hit for left-handed hitters for the most part. There's not that many that come out and just succeed lefty on lefty, even throughout their entire career. So, like, years go up and down. Like, it's super hard, mattering on who you're facing on the left side. So we got to talk about what he's doing this year. He's hitting 176 with a 650 OPS overall. But when we talk about, he's starting to get platooned when he's getting left-handed pitchers, which is like the last thing you want to hear from. I hit left-handed. I got platooned at some point in my career in high school for whatever reason. Don't want to even talk about that. But getting platooned just takes so much confidence away from you. And right now, this year, against lefties, he's hitting 115 with a 458 OPS. That's just not good, and that's not going to cut it. His stats are a little better against righties. Still not great. He's hitting 200 with a 726 OPS, so, like, a bit better. He's actually walking a decent on both sides of the plate, but it's just not good at the end of the day. You know, like I was saying, like, platooning someone just rips so much confidence from someone, and to do it this early in his career, I don't love the coaching in that perspective. I am a little biased, but I would love to see him turn it on. I think there's all the talent in the world. Like, he hit some moonshots already. He hit one just the other day, but there's a lot of growth to be had here. I would not be surprised if he gets sent down to AAA this year. It looks like he needs some work. This is what it is. Coming in at number 2 today, it's honestly mind-blowing. Juan Soto. I did not think I would ever be saying anything poorly about Juan Soto on the baseball field. Juan Soto turned down a absolute massive contract from the Nationals to go out and try to prove himself, to even get more money or get to a better landing spot, because it's Washington, D.C. I'm sorry if you're a Nationals fan. It is what it is. He went down to San Diego, and everyone's like, okay, pretty good park for him. Like, it's not a hitter-friendly park by any means, but, like, it's Juan Soto. He can hit anywhere. Currently, he's hitting 220 this year. Last year for San Diego, he hit 236, and the power has just absolutely disappeared. In 80 games, it's actually closer to 90 games, he has 9 home runs. 9. So there's something going on with him. I don't know if it's, when you break down his swing, I tried to do it the other day, literally in slow motion, compared to, like, when he was at his hottest, which was the World Series run, versus right this year. There's really not a lot of difference. So I don't know if he's just not seeing the ball right. He's walking at the most in the league still. So, like, he's still got to be seeing the ball decent. And it's just crazy to see him at a 779 OPS hitting 220. The main thing that me and Ryan have noticed is he's really struggling against lefties, and that's really never been a thing for him. He's hitting 133 against lefties. So he's still hitting righties at around 250, but 133 is just horrendous. So I'm interested to see on that one. I don't know if it's because in the past few years, like I was talking about earlier, is pitching is just getting more and more developed and evolving, and people are just throwing harder and harder. Maybe he needs to make an adjustment in his swing to where against lefties, he needs to focus on going opposite field more or something. I don't know. Because at this point, I thought in 2020 when he hit 351 or in 2021 when he hit 313, like, I never thought he would ever have a bad year. Like, I would look at his swings and I would say, this guy's literally the best hitter in baseball. Like, he might be the best player. Like, he's going to be Mike Trout numbers. And we're already seeing a downside. So I'm interested to see it. Obviously, he can figure this out. But there's a lot of talent in that organization, and Manny Machado is struggling as well right now a little bit, but I'm interested to see what ends up happening. I do think Juan Soto will turn it around. Will it be this year or with the Padres? I don't know yet. I'm interested to see, though. So that's why he comes in at number 2, just like an MVP caliber baseball player, and he's struggling. And coming in at number 1, guys, is honestly mind-blowing. Dylan Cease. Yes, another pitcher made the list because this guy came out last year and got second in the Cy Young. A lot of people actually argue that he probably should have won the Cy Young, and I didn't think so. I thought Verlander was the guy, but he did it in such a unique way last year. So he had a 2.2 ERA last year, and he led the MLB in walks. So there's 2 things that go into leading the MLB in walks. Obviously, you need to be good because you have to get deeper in games to have more innings pitched to allow you to walk more people. So that's kind of where he was. He pitched a lot of innings and he did walk a lot of people. But this year, his walk percentage is up even higher than last year. So he is definitely having some command issues. Last year, his walks per 9 was 3.8. This year, he's at 4.8. The last time he was anything above this was his second year in the league, and he had a 4 ERA. Right back where he is today with a 4.58 ERA. So, do I think he can figure it out? Obviously. I mean, Dylan Cease looked phenomenal last year, but he is like that effective wild pitcher. Like, he never misses like to the fact where he's throwing it off the backstop, but like when you see him try to like attack people sometimes, he's missing like, instead of just like missing up a little bit when you're trying to throw a high fastball, like he throws it to where the catcher's got to like reach above his head, you know? So I want to see him figure that out. I want to see him start throwing a little bit more strikes. But for the time being, a guy that looked like he was going to be a Cy Young favorite this year, and obviously the White Sox, I mean, that someone figure out that organization. There's something going on. There's way too much talent for them to like just be steadily like just hanging out in the middle of that not very good division. So yeah, I'm interested to see if they can figure him out. That is it though, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Dylan Cease comes in at number 1 for us just because I thought he was going to be Cy Young again this year, or at least close, like last year. So I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments about it. If you guys do enjoy this kind of content, make sure you guys do drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.